The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on NewsRadio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Mark Berger is back with us again right here on The Local Show. I told you we were going to have some interesting guests.
You did. You weren't talking about him, though.
This weekend.
You were talking about somebody else,
well,
I'm sure.
No, they were all pretty interesting.
All right, just checking.
Yeah. So Mark Berger is the executive director of the Onondaga County Soil and Water and Manager program. Program manager of the City of Syracuse Watershed Agricultural Program. You spend a lot of time around water, though, Steve.
I do.
You do. Not right
I'm
now.
married in hot water most of the time.
Well, here's a guy who actually has a brain. It's not seized as we know it. Mark Berger, how are you, buddy?
I'm well, Tom. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you again. So you have this big fancy title. Why don't you start there? First, start with your educational background and what brought you to be this title.
So I've always had a big interest in the environment, and I went to Paul Smith College and the SUNY College of Science and Forestry. You can. Good fishing.
Right. Okay. And where is Paul Smith? Out in the Finger Lakes?
That's up north in the Saranac Lake Placid
okay.
region.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay. Way up there. Yeah.
So started out in forestry and then migrated over into the soil science arena. And with the soil science, started working in the private sector, did a lot of work with wetlands and soils, and led to a job at the Soil and Water Conservation District working with farmers, over 300 farmers across the county.
Wow.
How long ago was that?
About 25 years ago.
Okay, so bring us up to speed. 25 years.
Right, yeah.
So today, at Soil and Water, I've been there many years, and we work with over 300 farmers across the county. We work with the highway departments and also local constituents that want to plant trees, put buffers in, might have flooding and drainage problems.
Let me ask you this, because we've been inundated with political rhetoric, ever since COVID, right? So people don't know who to trust here and there and all that. Is it true? I hear, and see a lot of videos on YouTube that will tell me that the nutrients in the soil everywhere are diminishing. Like we don't have the same nutrient composition as we used to. Is that true?
There is the potential for leaching, but you've got some of the best farmers in the country here in Central New York, and those farmers are nature's best recyclers, and so they're using their organic manure that they produce on the farm, in compost and other soil amendments to help keep the soil nutrients rich, so that they can grow their crops and be successful and productive and feed us.
So the sky's not falling on that part. Where,
in other words, nutrients aren't just leaving the earth.
we're not seeing that.
Yeah, farmers, I mean, this rotating crops, that's still a thing, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's biblical times. These are principles that go way back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you mentioned, so our friends at Bartlett Tree Experts, they have everything with the trees and water, they all mix. So you had mentioned how to, I don't know, if someone was going to want to have some grow a forest, for example, on some property, do you help? Are you there, or do they ignore you, or where do you fit with people like that?
So we do an awful lot with forestry. We have a forester on staff who's certified, and we, through soil and water efforts, helped the community plant over 5,000 trees last year. We actually, our tree sale is open and active right now. So
tell us about that.
Annually, we have a spring tree sale, and so anybody who wants to plant trees can contact us. We have over 20 varieties of species that they can purchase. We help
These are
them.
Little trees, I imagine, right?
Yes, seedlings. They're 12 to 18 inches tall. And but they will grow up and they will provide great function and value.
So it's a pay thing. You have to pay for it.
Yes,
but it's not.
It's not like the free mulch.
No, but right. But it's not expensive. What's it going to set me back for a little tree?
A package of like 12 trees can be around $20.
Okay,
well, that's not bad.
So
yeah.
$2 a stem. It's not bad. We sell thousands of those seedlings every spring. We sell the other components that help those trees be successful. Mm-hmm. We use ochre compost. We provide that as well, and works really good to enrich the soil, get good growth of your tree species.
So do you talk to residential people as well with their challenges, or you just deal with farms and things?
All the time. Our forester does a lot with the county's Emerald Ash Borer program, so she's always working with the community members on tree takedowns because of the ash borer and its impacts.
What a pain in the butt. We can't get rid of that thing?
We're working hard at it, but it's pretty pervasive. But she also helps community members that want to plant trees. She'll go out and take a look at trees that might have some damage or hazards and make recommendations on whether the tree is healthy or not to survive into the future. So we do an awful lot with the community members. We love to be a one-stop shop. So whatever your environmental question is, give us a call.
So were you part of, how are we going to get all that water to make those microchips in northern Onondaga County? Were you part of that, or did they leave you out of that?
So we were part of the finding the mitigation sites for that project because there's some wetlands and some other impacts. And so on the very front end, we were working hard with the agricultural and large landowners that we know looking for potential mitigation sites for bat habitat, wetland mitigation habitat, etc.
So give us the status on blue-green algae.
Ooh.
Don't
eat it, Tom.
Is it pervasive like the ash borer? Can we get rid of it? And where can we find it? And
how does it affect the fish?
Yeah,
okay.
The scientists are working real hard on it, but one of the biggest areas we need to focus on is the soil at the bottom of our waterways, our streams, our lakes, etc. When that gets resuspended, what happens to those nutrients of nitrogen and phosphorus? How does that become available to the cyanobacteria? And how does that promote and perpetuate the harmful algal blooms? So our scientists are doing great work on that right now. It seems to be one of the biggest questions that we need to answer so we can best understand.
So where did it come from?
Yeah, right. Hasn't that been there since we were kids?
Yeah, I mean, did we just swim in it before and go, hey? I mean,
no big deal?
No big deal, or is it new?
It's been around for hundreds of years. The city of Syracuse and their water records have documentation of a green paint-like sheen across the water going back into the late 1800s.
Okay.
So it's been around for years. Events like when we get a 500-year storm event and we get a lot of inflow into the lakes and a lot of sediment in suspension in the water, that really seems to give those bacteria.
So is this farm fertilizer and things that are going into the water that are making it grow? Does that have an effect on it? Like Oneida Lake gets pretty weird, Tom.
It's like a witch's brew.
Certain time of year, like, wow, one day the water's great, the other day it looks like pea soup.
Right.
You know, every body of water is different and has its own unique features. And Oneida Lake is extremely biologically productive. Skaneateles Lake is not. So that's kind of the difference between the two water bodies.
Right. But does Skaneateles still go through eutrophication?
It can. And so much has to do, you've got to have 5 factors all working perfectly. You've got to have calm days and a lot of sunshine and items like that help to promote those cyanobacteria.
So real quick, share us, YouTube listeners will see me holding up something you don't want to step on. It looks like so what is this?
Like
and what's its purpose?
rock.
That is a water chestnut, and that seed can produce 300 new plants. It's one of the most prolific forms of vegetation that
exists.
Is
it good vegetation?
It is not good vegetation.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything healthy in there?
You can't eat it. You step on it, it's going to hurt. But we pulled out over 1.7 million pounds of that in the Seneca River system last year. So it was a really successful project. We're starting to make headway.
Well, if you've got questions about water, and seriously, if you have some property and you're trying to figure it out, you'll take a call and help people out, right?
Absolutely.
457-0325 or the website ocswcd.org. I got that right, Tom.
Very nice.